Sometimes in life, we find ourselves wondering why things aren't happening the way we planned, why doors seem to remain shut despite our efforts, why the breakthrough hasn't come even though we've done everything right. In those moments, doubt creeps in, frustration builds, we question if we've been forgotten or overlooked. But what if the delay is not a denial? What if it's part of a divine design that's far greater than anything we can currently see? There is a peace that comes with trusting God's timing, not just believing He can do something, but trusting He knows when to do it, because timing is everything. A blessing given too early can feel like a burden. A promise received before you're ready can turn into pressure. But when the timing is right, what once felt heavy becomes light. What once felt impossible starts falling into place. That's the beauty of divine timing. It doesn't rush, it doesn't delay. It arrives precisely when it's meant to. Think about the seed that lies hidden beneath the soil. It doesn't sprout the moment it's planted. It sits in the dark, unseen, unfelt, seemingly forgotten. But deep down, it's being transformed. Roots are forming. Foundations are being set. And when the season changes and the conditions align, it breaks through the surface. Not a second too soon, not a second too late. That seed never questioned the process. It simply grew. Some of the most powerful transformations in your life are happening in seasons where it feels like nothing is moving. But faith says, even when I don't see it, I believe something is working. Trusting God's timing doesn't mean sitting still, it means moving with patience. It means doing what you can today, while believing He's preparing what you need for tomorrow. Delay is not always punishment. It's often preparation. It's protection. Sometimes God holds things back because He sees what we cannot. He knows what's ahead. He sees the closed doors not as rejection, but as redirection, because He's not just planning the moment you're praying for, He's orchestrating your entire life to align with a greater purpose. There will be moments when it feels like others are moving ahead of you. Their prayers are answered quicker. Their dreams are unfolding faster. But comparison is the enemy of faith. What God is doing in someone else's life has no bearing on what He's preparing for yours. Stay in your lane. Stay rooted in your faith. What's meant for you won't miss you, and what misses you was never meant for you in the first place. In the silence, in the waiting, in the long in-between where it feels like nothing's happening. That's where trust is built. That's where character is refined. That's where strength is born. Because when the timing finally aligns, and the doors open, and the answers come, you'll look back and realize every second of waiting had a purpose. Every delay carried weight. Every detour led you closer to who you were meant to become. So keep showing up, keep believing, keep trusting, even when it doesn't make sense, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Because the one who holds time also holds your future, and His timing is never off. Life's delays often serve a greater purpose and are part of a divine plan we may not immediately understand. Trusting in God's timing brings peace, as blessings arrive exactly when we are truly ready for them. Just like a seed growing unseen beneath the soil, our growth often happens in hidden, quiet seasons. Waiting is not passive. It involves faith, patience, and consistent effort, while believing something greater is unfolding. God's delays are often protection or preparation, aligning our lives for something better than we imagined. Comparison distracts from our personal journey. What is meant for us will come at the right time, and trusting that process builds strength and character. There are moments in life when it feels like everything is on pause. We work hard, pray earnestly, and wait with hope. Yet nothing seems to move. It's easy to think something is wrong, that we've taken a misstep or been forgotten. But often, those delays are not setbacks. They are setups. Setups for something greater than we could imagine. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to. There is a divine rhythm to life that doesn't always match our own timelines. What seems like a no right now may actually be a not yet. When we rush ahead of timing, we risk stepping into something we're not ready for. But when we pause and trust, we allow room for growth, maturity, and divine alignment. God sees the whole picture, we only see a snapshot. While we're focused on the immediate, He's focused on the eternal. He knows what needs to fall into place before our prayers can be fully answered in the way that's best for us. Sometimes what feels like a delay is actually protection. That relationship you wanted so badly might have broken you. That job you thought was perfect could have led to burnout. That opportunity that slipped away may have made you settle for less than what was meant for you. What feels like a detour is often a redirection to something better. The pause has a purpose. The waiting is not wasted. Trusting that truth changes how we endure the seasons that feel silent or still. It teaches us to rest, not in the outcome we're chasing, but in the one who holds it all together. There's a deep, unshakable peace that comes when we truly begin to trust that God's timing is not only intentional but perfect. It's easy to believe that something good is coming, but much harder to believe it's coming at the right moment, especially when we feel ready now. We want the promotion, the breakthrough, the answer, the relationship now. But sometimes receiving something too soon can do more harm than good. A blessing before its time can become overwhelming, not empowering. Timing matters as much as the gift itself. Imagine holding a fruit that looks ripe on the outside but is still sour within. That's what happens when we force things ahead of their season. But when God brings something into your life at the right moment, there is no striving, no forcing, no anxiety. It simply fits. Doors open with ease. Opportunities feel aligned. The weight lifts because you're no longer carrying it in your own strength. That's what happens when God's timing meets your preparation. Trusting His timing teaches us patience and dependence. It builds our character in the quiet. It shapes our perspective in the waiting. It molds us into someone who's not just chasing blessings but becoming ready to sustain them. When we wait with faith instead of frustration, we grow stronger, wiser, and more grateful. The peace comes not from knowing when, but from knowing who is in control. Every season has its purpose, and when the timing is right, everything will unfold. Not because we forced it, but because we trusted it. Growth doesn't always announce itself. It doesn't always come with noise, celebration, or visible progress. Sometimes, the most powerful transformation happens in silence, beneath the surface, in the hidden places no one else sees. Just like a seed buried deep in the soil, your growth may be happening far away from the spotlight. No one sees the roots stretching, the strength forming, the foundation being laid. But just because it's unseen doesn't mean it's not real. There's a sacred process in the quiet seasons of life. These are the times when we feel overlooked, forgotten, or stuck. But in truth, we're being developed. While we crave visible progress, God often does His deepest work in hiddenness. The seed doesn't doubt its purpose because it's covered in dirt. It simply trusts the process, drawing strength from the unseen, waiting patiently for its moment to rise. Many people give up during these silent seasons, not realizing that what feels like a pause is actually preparation. These are the moments where patience is tested, where faith is refined, and where inner strength is built. Without the hidden growth, the visible success would never last. You're not buried, you're being planted. And in due time, when the conditions are right and your heart is ready, you will rise, not just to be seen, but to flourish with roots strong enough to sustain the weight of your calling. Growth is not always about movement. Sometimes it's about stillness, about learning, about quietly becoming everything you were meant to be before the world ever sees it. Waiting isn't about doing nothing. It's about doing the right things while trusting that the outcome is in God's hands. It's active faith, not passive hope. It's waking up each day, showing up with purpose, staying committed to the process, even when there's no visible sign of change. Waiting with trust is one of the greatest demonstrations of faith, because it means you believe God is working behind the scenes, even when your eyes can't see it. So often, we associate waiting with weakness, like it's a state of helplessness. But waiting on God is strength. It takes courage to pause when everything in you wants to rush ahead. It takes wisdom to resist forcing something into existence, just to quiet the discomfort of uncertainty. Real faith is not proven in the moments when everything makes sense. It's proven in the moments when nothing does, but you still believe. This kind of waiting doesn't mean sitting idle. It means preparing your heart, sharpening your character, building your resilience. It's using the time to grow in ways you may not have if everything came quickly. It's praying with expectation, moving with intention, and trusting that God is not just working on the promise. He's also working on you. While you're waiting, something is shifting. While you're trusting, something is building. The breakthrough may not come today, and that's okay, because each step of obedience in the waiting is planting seeds for what's to come. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about becoming ready for it when it arrives. That's what trusting God's timing really means. Not just believing He'll do it, but continuing to move forward with faith until He does. Sometimes what we call a delay is actually divine protection. We see a closed door and feel rejected, but God sees what's on the other side and says, "Not now," or even, "Not this way." We cry over what didn't happen, not realizing what we were spared from. Trusting God's timing means accepting that His no, or not yet, is not punishment, it's mercy. He sees the full picture. He sees what we cannot. And in His love, He holds things back when they're not aligned with our purpose, or when they would arrive before we're prepared to carry them. It can be hard to understand why something doesn't work out, especially when you were sure it was meant for you. That opportunity, that relationship, that breakthrough, when it slips away, it can feel like loss. But often, it's redirection. It's a shift away from what you think you want toward what you truly need. God isn't just trying to get you to the destination. He's trying to build someone strong enough to handle it when you get there. When we surrender our plans and trust His timing, we open ourselves up to something deeper than temporary satisfaction. We open ourselves to lasting purpose. It's easy to chase what looks good, but God leads us toward what is good, even if we don't see it right away. The delay refines us. It teaches patience. It builds faith. And most of all, it protects us from what might distract or destroy us. There is no wasted time in God's plan. What you think is a setback is often Him setting the stage. What you feel is being withheld is really being reserved for the perfect moment, when everything will make sense, and the timing will be unmistakably right. It's easy to look around and feel like everyone else is moving ahead while you're stuck in place. Their dreams are unfolding, their prayers are being answered, their lives seem perfectly timed. But the moment you start comparing your journey to someone else's, you lose sight of what God is doing in your own. Comparison is a thief. It steals your peace, your gratitude, and your ability to recognize how far you've actually come. God doesn't work on a one-size-fits-all timeline. He's not in a rush, and He's not late. What's meant for someone else may not be right for you, and what's meant for you won't miss you. Your path was never supposed to look like anyone else's. Your waiting season, your growth, your breakthrough, they're being crafted uniquely for you. There's no need to compete when God has already set aside blessings that carry your name alone. Staying in your lane doesn't mean you ignore others. It means you celebrate their progress without questioning your own. It means recognizing that someone else's success doesn't mean your delay is a denial. Their season is not your season. Just as spring doesn't compare itself to autumn, your life doesn't have to mirror someone else's timeline to be meaningful. When you truly trust God's timing, you stop trying to outrun others and start embracing where you are. You begin to understand that every slow day, every detour, every unanswered prayer is shaping you for what's ahead. What God is building in you during the wait is just as important as what He's bringing to you after it. Stay focused, stay faithful. Your moment will come, not too early, not too late, but exactly when it's meant to. Maybe you're in a season right now where you're questioning everything. You've done the right things, you've held on to hope, you've prayed the prayers, yet it feels like nothing is shifting. The silence feels deafening, and you're wondering if you've been forgotten. But you haven't, not for a second. The silence is not abandonment, it's strategy. The waiting is not punishment, it's preparation. The delay is not a denial, it's alignment. You are not off course. You are exactly where you need to be, even if it doesn't look like progress. There is a purpose in the pace, a lesson in the lingering, a depth that only develops in the moments where you have to walk forward without a clear sign. Because faith doesn't flourish in the easy seasons. It grows strong in the tension, in the stretch, in the moments where nothing makes sense, yet you keep going. That's where your roots grow deep. That's where your spirit learns endurance. That's where trust is no longer just a word. It becomes your lifeline. Trusting God's timing means handing over your timeline. It means surrendering your need to control and embracing the truth that you're being led by someone who sees what you don't, who knows what's ahead, and who's never been late. Not once. You may not understand it now, and honestly, you're not supposed to. Because if you could see the entire plan, there would be no need for faith. But God works in layers. He's preparing people, situations, resources, even delays to come together in a way that will make everything make sense. Just not yet. When the time comes, what felt like wasted time will suddenly make sense. The heartbreak will reveal its hidden wisdom. The waiting will show its strength. The closed doors will turn into testimonies. And you'll look back not with regret, but with awe. Because what God was doing in the background was far greater than anything you were begging to happen in the moment. He wasn't just preparing the blessing, He was preparing you. So don't rush what God is still writing. Don't try to force open what He's kept shut for your protection. Don't envy someone else's chapter when you haven't seen how your story ends. Every moment of your journey is connected. Every detour, every delay, every quiet night where you cried out wondering why. None of it is wasted. All of it is working together for something far greater than your temporary understanding. Yes, it's hard to wait. It's hard to trust when the world tells you to hustle, to chase, to force. But there is a deeper strength in choosing to be still, in choosing to believe that what's ahead of you is worth what you're walking through now. That the timing is not random but divine, that the pieces you can't yet see are falling perfectly into place. Keep your heart steady, keep your hands open, keep your faith anchored in the truth that the Creator of time is not bound by it. He's never rushed, never confused, never uncertain. He knows exactly what He's doing with your life, even when you don't. And one day, you'll understand why it had to take the time it did, why the delay was necessary, why the waiting shaped you in ways instant answers never could. And you'll thank God, not just for the outcome, but for the process that brought you there.